Welcome to Sound Values, powered in part by LSA Burger and Classic of Denton. The views and opinions expressed by the show hosts and their guests are those of the show host and guests, and not necessarily those of the sponsors, DentonRadio.com, or the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau. For more information, visit the Policies and Procedures page at DentonRadio.com.
Gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight on DentonRadio.com. My name is Kine Beats. We are broadcasting out of the beautiful Discover Denton Welcome Center. Y'all are tuned into Sound Values, sponsored by LSA Burger Company. And this wild man, this statuesque individual right here next to me, this is the front man of the great, the marvelous, the wondiferous Puddintain. We have Brandon Dowd in the building.
Oh, we're not that good, but thank you.
I think you're fantastic. I think you're awesome, dude.
It's great to be here.
Great to be. We want to first point out this lovely spread we have right here. We want to give a shout out to Kim out there who, has done lovely things. Lovely
Hey,
things.
how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, see you later, girl. Yeah. Hey.
Wonderful times. We've got the macaroons and everything. So, buddy, like we were kind of talking before the show, I've seen you guys play. We've hung out outside of the place. We've had tons of good times. Outside of music and in venues and things, but we've never really sat down and gotten to know each other. And you are a formidable presence on stage.
I appreciate that.
And so, and I think that anybody who watches y'all from you to Zach, from the front to the back, there's a lot of energy out there. And so, I kind of want to find out just kind of your background, man. Let's talk some music knowledge and like where the music came from for you, where you grew up, what you're listening to. So let's just as you were growing up, and so let's just kind of get right into it. And I'm going to throw a heavy question here.
Okay.
And the first question is, what is your first musical memory? That first time that music had an impact on you.
Yeah.
Whether you were 3 or 15.
It was probably somewhere I think it was about 7 or 8.
Okay.
And I was fortunate enough. My parents weren't rich, but they had enough money to get a pool.
Nice.
So we had a pool, kind of smaller house, but yeah. And I just remember stopping, and I was about to go outside of the pool, and we were playing the Beatles on K-Love.
Nice.
98.7 K-Love. And yeah, man, I don't even remember what Beatles song it was. It was just I just stopped. And it was the first time in my life where I appreciated the moment. Mm-hmm. And I was just and especially as a 7 or 8 year old, I was kind of not mentally able to fully wrap my mind around it. Mm-hmm. But I knew in that moment it was very special.
Yeah.
And so that was it. Yeah. And it wasn't necessarily I have to make music at that point. It was just the things that are going into my ear right now.
Yeah.
I adore.
Yeah.
And I want more of that all the time.
Yeah. And I have. I can remember it was a New Year's Eve at some point, and it was probably the most lit New Year's Eve of my before 12, 13 years old.
Before
I remember,
there
were Mountain Dews out everywhere,
Yeah.
But I remember my parents were in the living room, and they were dancing to Rolling on a River. And I just remember being like, whoa, I have that memory. And then there was a Garth Brooks concert. America was the CD here, or the album he released, and my parents were watching that, and it was this huge.
Okay.
Garth Brooks struck me in a way that I can never really truly explain to people.
Was it his voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was powerful.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing, is it was power. It was kind of like the first time I heard "We Will Rock You" by Queen. I was at a Pee-wee football game, my brother's Pee-wee football game, and that was one of those songs that if the internet was around in 1991, I would have been at home finding that on YouTube, and just in my room jamming that. It wasn't until years later that my dad was like, "Oh, you like that song?" and brought me the tape. The
tape.
The Queen tape. He had it on, and I played it, and I rewind it and play it again, rewind it and play it again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So
that's fantastic.
Growing up, where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Plano, Texas.
Okay.
Very vanilla, pretty bland. Suburbia.
A lot of stucco.
Yeah, a lot of stucco. A lot of stucco. A lot of stuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it for it gave me, I guess, some form of security. I wasn't growing up in the big city or anything, so I was kind of sheltered in a way, which was nice. But then, with every pro comes a con, and so it's I really wasn't exposed to anything, and it wasn't really until I got out to Denton, so I really kind of felt myself and who I was, because I was just kind of just floating.
Yeah,
just figuring stuff out. Yeah, just.
Were you the kind of guy in school who was kind of friends with a little bit of everybody? You had a little bit of you had friends in every kind of little group of people.
For sure. Yeah, I was mostly with the band kids
Okay.
because I was a band nerd, and then
What did you play?
play trumpet.
Nice.
Play
okay.
trumpet,
Which
yeah.
we've seen on stage. Killer.
Yeah, I try to.
It's
try
awesome.
To.
I love it.
Sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, so I played with the band kids, and I was, pretty much floating through all the groups, but I was super privileged. I went to Plano East, which was considered more of the, I guess, ghetto high schools.
Oh, okay. Yes.
But, man, we didn't really have any bullies.
Okay.
We didn't have too many cliques. Like, it was just kind of everyone kind of got along.
What year did you graduate, if you don't mind me asking?
Let's see, it was 06.
Dude.
06.
Me too.
06 got the year sold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you say that because I find that very similar to where I grew up. Now, I grew up in Southlake. So there's some people have some turned up nose comments about that one too, about that place. But once again, there were a couple of, groups of friends, but they weren't cliques. Everybody would play volleyball, sand volleyball together. You'd see everybody out and about.
Yeah.
We didn't really have any bullies. There wasn't any room for that, really.
That's crazy, isn't it?
There were really no bullies, and I think there were only like 2 kids in the school that I didn't really get along with, and the thing was nobody really got along with them.
So
they were just hard to like people, But that's interesting. That's why I asked when did you graduate, and you're like 06, and I was like, you know what? People in 2006, those 1987 kids, 87, 88.
They were starting to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, we were doing it right.
You
So
mean I can be secure and not pick on other people?
What?
I know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what got you interested? Like you said, it was when you were 8 years old, 7, hearing the Beatles. That was the first time like music kind of made you go, "Ooh, wait a second." And the same with me. I didn't say, "Oh, I have to play music," but it impacted me. When did you start to dabble in wanting to play music, or what got you into that?
So that was another defining moment. That was with my good buddies Brett Crow and Chris George. Shout out.
Nice.
What's up? They're probably not watching.
I'll check it later and appreciate it.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. So it was on this thing called Jam Cruise,
Okay.
which is basically just a booze cruise, but there's music going from like 10 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Okay.
It just doesn't stop, and it's just all these fantastic bands.
Okay.
It was mostly, I think, some West Coast and then some like Southern rock, a lot of New Orleans-based bands, Galactic, Trombone Shorty.
Nice. I love Galactic. They're great, man.
Dude, I was watching them play their set, and it was probably 11 at night, something like that. And dude, man, it was another one of those moments. I just stopped, and I was just like, what is happening right now is the best possible thing that could be happening right now. And so, Galactic, and Trombone Shorty was sitting in, and I think it was actually a trombone duet.
Oh,
They're playing a song. They just stopped. They broke it down, and then they did a duet of this like escalating. Awesome. So they'd play a line, he'd play a line. Galactic player would play a line,
Keeps
trombone, and they just the intensity rose, and they went right back into the song. And I was just like,
cool.
That's awesome. Jam Cruise, man. It was when was that? That was 10 years ago.
Oh wow,
10 years ago. So.
Okay, so yeah, man, we're looking at not too quickly after graduating. How did you meet Brett Crow? Did you guys go to high school together, or
no?
Because that's only like 3 years after you graduated that you guys are cruising around the booze cruise. And figuring. So like, were you guys just like sitting down at one point and you're like, we should do some of that?
No, because I mean he was already doing it.
Okay.
He had been playing bass and music in general for years at that point.
He's phenomenal.
In high school. Yeah, he's fantastic. But yeah, and I think it was I realized I wanted to be a part of it. I want to play music. And then so when we got back, I was like, well, hey, could I maybe mess around, jam with y'all or something? Mm-hmm. And they were doing the events called Intense.
Okay.
On the rooftop of Cool Beans. And this was back in like 2011, 2012 is when I tried to kind of start getting into it. And maybe even sooner than that. I think it was sooner than that. Anyways, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they started jamming. I jammed with them at first. It went really well. I just had this outpouring of emotion and sound. It wasn't really singing. It was more of a yelling and just like, I'm so excited to be doing this right now.
Yeah.
And but eventually, after I got kicked out of one band because I was trying to rap and
okay.
Unlike you, a fantastic rapper and DJ, I am just kind of a singer.
Yeah.
Sometimes a trumpet player. But yeah, it was that. And then, dude, just like hours of practice. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was a delivery driver, so I would just sing in my car all the time, listening to Beatles, listening to Marvin Gaye, Zeppelin to get that range.
Oh, my gosh.
And, yeah, just singing along with them, and that's just kept trying to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Just being mindful of what I was doing.
Yeah. You know, man, one of the things that I love about, your part in Put in Tane, which we'll talk more about, is that you seem to have you have a good grasp of, and I know this is going to sound funny, but what's too much and what's not enough. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
The songs have the correct amount of energy each time, and you're very knowledgeable of, like, you're this okay, so, like, Maynard from Tool, he always says, like, his voice is another instrument. And then James Brown doesn't sing a whole lot. He's more kind of like that. We get on down, and that. So, like, I kind of combine those two when I think about, like, your presence on stage. Is like, you're this entertainer, and you get people excited, and you do well working with the crowd. But you do an awesome performance when you're not just entertaining, but you're actually singing and performing. And then you know when to step back and let the band do its thing.
Yeah, totally. And it's just kind of, I guess, walking on eggshells around my ego.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you got to believe in yourself. You got to have the confidence. So to a certain extent, you do have to have an ego and to be able to feed that. But at the same time, you got to check that thing.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it'll just get out of control. And I mean, we got Brett's incredible at bass. He's got a solo. Matt Cochran's incredible at sax.
Yeah,
he needs a solo. Brandon Arthur. Amazing.
Yeah, we don't even need to.
And then Zach, dude, he just rips. He just rips.
Yeah,
so.
Did you and Brett have, like, some projects before? Did you guys how did you guys start to mold, like, what you have now that is Put in Tane?
Yeah, man. So let's see. They were in a band already, and it was Good Luck Gentlemen.
Okay.
That I first tried to get a part of, and that was our original drummer, Gabriel Baker. Gabriel. And, what's up, Gabe? What's up, dude? He's not watching either.
He'll see it.
Maybe. But yeah, it was him, our buddy Chris, who was on the jam cruise with us, and then Brett and Nick. He was playing guitar. And yeah, so we tried with that, and they already kind of had this rock thing going. I tried to bring in rap, it didn't work out.
Okay, yeah.
I got kicked out, but I practiced.
Okay,
I went home and practiced, and like we were talking about before the show, like no isn't you don't take that as like, well, I'm just gonna quit.
Yeah.
That's more fuel for the fire. And so I went home and I was like, okay, well, I can't rap. Maybe I'll try to sing, see what happens. So started singing, went back. It started working out. We ended up actually becoming a backing band for a variety show in Richardson called Open Stage. And what a friggin' beautiful experience that was.
Very cool.
Because you had, poets. You had, hey, Gabe, what's up, dude? What's up, Gabe? What's up, dude? Oh, my God.
The comment right there.
What's up?
What's up, fool?
Dude. Oh, that makes me so happy.
We must have, like, reached out or tagged him or something in there.
Oh, my God.
The magic of radio. I want to give a shout-out to the producer working hard behind the board.
Yes. Shout-out for Jake.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up, Jake? What's up, dude?
Yeah, dude.
But, yeah, so we were the backing band, and we had so much fun. It was every Monday night. Yeah, every Monday night.
Nice.
And, so we'd drive over there, and we'd play our set. We had a set, and then we'd kind of just fill in for the different acts and maybe back up the host and all that.
Very cool,
so
dude.
We just, and I think that's really where the whole interacting with each other on stage and just being comfortable with just that kind of banter. And then also working there. I'm like a teenage... How about Mannish Boy? There we go.
Shout out to Gabriel Baker saying, nah, you the man. Yeah.
That's Put in Tane. I tell you once and I tell you again. Anyways. But yeah, so I think that's where we just honed our skills, is just playing there every Monday, playing some of the same songs. So we'd kind of change them up every once in a while and interact with the crowd.
And being on stage at a variety show, that's great too. In high school, I just played acoustic guitar, and I would kind of freestyle rap and sing about different people in the crowd during the Battle of the Bands. I would just play in between. I wasn't in a band.
Dude.
So I would come out while the other bands are setting up, and I'd be like, hey, somebody raise their hand. I'd pick them out. What's your name? Okay, cool. I'm going to sing a song about you, And I sang a song about how our principal, he had a glass eye, and so every time he would follow you, like, the glass eye just stayed still.
Oh, dude, that's...
So I sung a song about that, and he laughed really hard. He came up afterwards. He was like, I like someone who can think quick on their feet, young man. And I was just like, oh, thank God. This dude was like 6'7", 260 pounds. He was a
What validation though?
I know. I was hyped.
My God.
I was hyped. Well, that's cool, man. And you're around all these people who are there to see different styles, and so it gives you a good time to get more comfortable. Now, did you ever maybe do some poetry or do something part of the act rather than just play as the backing band?
Yeah, I mean, I get up there and play like a little working. Gabriel, dude, that's awesome. Well, thank you for tuning in, man.
Working
at the liquor store.
Get it, Gabe.
Dude,
Get it.
that's good perks there. Good
Yeah,
perks.
yeah. So what would you do? You get up there and do what?
Yeah, no, I did like a couple duets with Brett. I think one time I did actually try and do some poetry.
Okay.
And it was kind of just me, I don't know. Because we had the actual sign up time, but then the second half we called the dregs. Okay. And so it's like that's pretty much just open mic time.
Ah,
and
nice.
Anybody can sign up. That's there, and you just get up on stage and do your thing. And I was still kind of feeling myself out, so I wasn't too confident in what I was doing.
Yeah.
But it was mostly just the band.
Yeah, man. So. I've tried stand up. I did it one time, and I had fun. But I tried it. I did it at Game Changers, and Joey Johnson was hosting.
Yeah.
And it was a couple years back. And I had decided that I was going to start putting myself in uncomfortable places, like being like, okay, I've never done this before. Let's do it.
That's how you grow.
Exactly.
That's how you grow. Yeah.
You know, I was like, let's try this.
Yeah.
People have always said, hey, you should do some stand-up, so let's go give it a shot. You know, if anything, I can call them up and say, you were wrong. It's your fault.
I tried.
You were wrong.
Thanks a lot, Mom.
I had a good time, and I got a few laughs, and then went about my day and, never really – I was like, okay, cool, did that. So yeah, getting out there and trying to and doing the poetry and just trying different things.
Yeah.
You're not. It's not like you're out there like I'm gonna become a poet.
No.
Or I'm gonna be a comedian. No. You try and you see where you're comfortable at and what fits best. And you, my friend, are very comfortable on that stage or in front of that band or on that grass, wherever the band is playing. Man, I feel you guys are such a cohesive unit up there.
Appreciate
that. And
so.
Were all of these guys, were they already kind of a band, or how did everybody start to come together? Because Zach wasn't the original drummer, so how did all the pieces start to fall into place?
Yeah, so let's see. Well, Gabe actually moved off to Austin. He's probably not watching anymore. But, yeah, and so yeah, we were just kind of floating again for a while, trying to figure out what to do. We had our good buddy Furball step in.
Oh, nice.
Furball McGillicuddy.
Furball sounds awesome.
Yeah, and he's awesome. He's a great dude and a good drummer. Yeah, and we had a lot of great times with him. And then and Matt was still playing with us too. Matt Cochran plays keys, plays the sax.
Yeah, he's killing it.
And yeah, so I think it was just working through that, figuring out what we kind of wanted to do with our sound.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Ethan playing too. Ethan Bouchard. Shout out to Ethan.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
Love you, bro.
I know that guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Great
Good people.
Shout out to Strong Work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Keep your hair long. Keep your work strong.
There you go.
Yeah, but it was. I feel like the chemistry once we came together was already there, which is cool because we're all pretty laid back dudes and like we're not. It's not like look at me.
Yeah.
And so we're all like, willing to kind of sit back and let each other have the spotlight, which really helps.
No, yeah, and it's a wild bunch too. Like every guy's got their own look.
Yeah.
Because like nobody, I don't know who Brett's if Brett even tries to emulate somebody when he plays bass or who his inspirations are. But he's just calm and collect and just. But slaps so hard. Cameron Trevino just walked in the building. I see.
What?
I see what's up?
So he's a huge fan of Les Claypool.
Okay.
And I definitely his composition and aesthetic kind of comes from, I would say, Frank Zappa.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay, yeah. It's just his cool demeanor while he's just.
That's the Claypool.
Yeah,
He just jumps in the Claypool, and that's an even temperature 72 at all times. So I mean, he's always there.
Who doesn't like a quad? Yeah, 72 degrees. That's a good temperature.
It is.
It's perfect, man. It's so nice. So, one thing that I didn't ask is what brought you to Denton? Like, you growing up in Plano, like school or?
Yeah, I was UNT.
Girls or music or all the above? Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to join a band, and I had this girlfriend, and then I was like, nah, screw it. I'm gonna go to school. No,
Nice. The exact
like the
opposite of
180.
all the rock and roll
Yeah.
stories you've ever heard. I had everything going for me, and then I
I was
decided to.
You know what? I really like math.
I think I need a bachelor's.
Yeah. No, I went to UNT, and I actually did drop out of UNT, and then I went back and finished it.
There you go.
So,
I
mom.
I don't ever say I dropped out. I say I left.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it wasn't like they kicked me out.
No.
You know, I was just like, I don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'll come back later.
Yeah.
So I did. Yeah, like
There you go.
7 years later. Yeah.
Dude, and you know, I think especially with millennials and like the younger generations, they're kind of seeing college as not maybe a completely necessary thing. Like it's not this like high school, college, job, marriage. It's more like, well, I could do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Yeah, exactly. You know, you look at all the statistics on it too, and it shows, hey, people who were born at this age, this year and later are having children later on here. And I saw one thing. It's like they're not buying. I saw this was classic.
Yeah.
The number one reason that it was was shown that millennials bought a home was to have a backyard for their dog.
That's a great
why.
reason.
And
That's
I
a great
said,
reason.
that's good people.
Yeah.
Like,
That's my people.
maybe the housing market should start focusing on the dogs rather than us. Like, I want to go to a
Dude.
house where the backyard is already set up for my dog.
Have you thought about going into real estate?
I think I just did.
Dude, I think you have a brilliant
Dowd
idea.
and
man.
LaCroix right
So,
here.
yeah. Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Come get a house from us.
Yeah,
We've got great
you-
deals.
You can play good realtor, I'll play bad realtor.
Yeah. Okay. Can we switch sometimes?
Yeah.
I want to be bad sometimes.
Right in the middle of it, though.
Okay.
Like, you'll be real angry, and then all of a sudden I'll get real happy.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Just-
I'll be
they'll
real
like,
angry,
oh
and
my
then,
God.
yeah, you guys switch it up.
What's wrong? We better buy this house, honey, so they're not flipping their personalities all the time and being all wishy-washy. Yeah, yeah. I think we're onto something, man.
I think we're gonna have to delete this episode. Or
Would
else
you- yeah,
someone
that's
else
true.
is gonna
Someone
take,
will steal
take the
idea.
idea. Okay.
Can
Cool.
we just-
Thanks. Yeah. Can we
Just go back and
rewind?
rewind it.
We'll get it in edits. We'll get
Yeah.
it in the edit room. All right. We'll get it in the edits.
Would y'all buy a house from us though?
I think they would.
Would
I
you?
think Gabriel, if you're still out there, would you?
Gabe, would you buy a house from us?
Y'all didn't know this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Me and Brandon had it planned the whole time. We
Yeah.
talked about it last night.
Yeah.
We were at the dog park. It was like, wouldn't this be better if it was in our backyards? You know.
It would.
All right. Anyways, back to music. Back to fun
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, back to all that. So now, when it comes to
Want a dog
the
park.
yeah, you're right. When it comes to the way that y'all sit back and write music, well, I guess really, actually, here's a question: When was Put in Tane's first show? Like, when would you say that Put in Tane had their first show?
Oh man, it had to have been okay. So it's definitely 2012.
Okay.
I want to say. It was probably Cool Beans. It had to have been
Nice.
Cool Beans.
Was that kind of like a home venue for y'all for a while?
Definitely.
They were having a lot
Definitely.
more because I don't think do they do shows up there anymore? I mean,
No,
maybe
it
like
was.
DIY type stuff if they do.
I think maybe singer-songwriter
Okay.
type stuff like
Nice.
that. But it was like, dude, it was like a couple weeks before they opened this. I think it was known as the Sterling Apartments back then.
Okay.
So it was a couple weeks. We played our first show as Puddin' there, I think, and then we played our last show there as Puddin' like a month later, and it actually no more shows were, I think, allowed. Like a week after we played our last show there.
Oh wow.
But it was incredible because we were playing and we had people coming out of their balconies,
nice.
kind of just watching, just looking at us, like cheering us on and stuff.
Yeah, man, that's a fun
So-
experience.
It was crazy. And then there
Yeah.
were people up on the roof too. So it almost had this like stadium feel.
Mm-hmm.
There were
Yeah.
people behind us
Oh,
to the
yeah,
side
there
of
you
us,
go.
and it was just like,
Man, are you friends with Leland Rooney by chance? He was a guitarist in a bunch of different bands all around town.
I've heard the name. I
Dude,
don't think
he posted a picture where he was playing in Germany for a stadium-sized crowd. It was incredible. It was like 70,000 people.
Who's he
or something.
playing with?
I don't. He was just one of the guitarists like behind the band.
Oh.
Like the band's up there, and he's the guy actually doing all the work. in the
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
You know, just
yeah,
like that
yeah.
dude back there who's just like, "Yep, I'm working," and "Yep."
Or in pop music, it's like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was something crazy, man. Something wild like that. But yeah, if you like, do you prefer? Because it's crazy. I feel like when I see Puddin' Tane, y'all are always playing outside. But then Denton has a ton of outside venues.
yeah.
But if you have to choose, do you prefer to play outside or inside?
Outside for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I think it's just. I mean, there's usually more space
Mhm.
for one, and then two, it's just you're just outside.
Yeah. What's one of your favorite shows you've ever played?
Oh,
And I feel like I was there for one of them.
dude. I mean, we played Jazz Fest.
Yeah, dude.
That was. I mean, I
Oh.
remember at one point during that set, just kind of looking out and just feeling so surreal about the whole thing.
Dude.
Because as being at
400 plus people singing SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh,
dude.
it was nuts, man. It was just like, I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Kind of like I wrap my head around that. I'm like, was that actually me?
Yeah,
Or was
yeah.
that someone else? And I just have this weird recollection of their memories or something.
I loved your oh man, it'll come back to me. You said something when you were on stage. Oh yeah, you said when it comes to making it in this town, or it comes to making it as a local act, this is like the top tier, to get booked. And I
Dude, for
agreed with
real,
you on
man.
that because
For
like
real.
and don't get me wrong, I would never classify y'all as jazz.
No, no, definitely.
So
not.
like the fact that
Definitely
somebody like reached out, that and was like, book this band,
Yeah.
know, you would maybe expect more, like because I didn't even consider the boombox jazz, you know what I mean, and they're a little bit closer,
not. Dude, absolutely.
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 But like when I walked by and I saw Zach like setting up,
Loading his
I was
jumps.
like, I turned to my friends and I said, we don't need to go any further. I was like,
Oh,
we
really?
don't need to go any further in.
Yeah.
We're staying. We're either. I'll go a little bit further for the food, but I'm coming right back here
Yeah.
because I'm watching this show.
I
you know.
appreciate that, man.
And
I appreciate
oh,
that.
dude, I was there for the whole thing. I was up front.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
With K Dog from Backyard on Bell.
Ah,
and
I love K-Dog.
So man, yeah. Just give me like what that was like looking over those people, man. And what are you thinking during that time?
Just like super grateful. Yeah, I mean, there was no other feeling because it's not like, I mean, we earned it, definitely.
Yeah,
we earned
yeah,
it. We've
yeah.
played hard. Every show, I try to play it as if it's like my last.
Yeah.
Just because like you need those feelings and you need to be able to put that energy out there for people to, one, take you seriously and B, enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yep.
I just did one and then
B. Yes.
But anyways, yeah, no, I was just really, really grateful because all those people didn't have to be there. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they're going to be. It's Jazz Fest, and that's what you do
Yeah.
in that weekend. But, man, yeah, I just really wanted to kind of hug each and every single person.
Yeah. Well, I'm forgetting his name, but who was the guy who played guitar in here earlier? Yeah, Tim. So before Tim left, he was talking about seeing y'all at Jazz Fest.
Seriously?
Yeah, and he was like, it was super cool to catch them because you see the lineup and then you only see about 1% of the lineup anyways.
Yeah.
But he was like, I used to teach Brandon guitar when he was way younger. He was like, he's much better than, now.
Nuh-uh?
Yeah. He said he used to teach him a long time ago.
I met him.
Yeah, super nice guy, man.
Yeah.
But he was, and so that's what I mean is, yeah, you've got those people could have gone to the main stage. They could have gone here. They could have gone there, and they chose to say, "Hey, we're gonna stay here." And I walked. A couple of my coworkers walked through, and I was like, "Hey, come back to this stage." And I saw them on Monday at work, and they were like, "I was like, what y'all think?" They were like, "Dude, we're so glad we stayed. It was awesome." I saw a couple guys that I know from TWU who work with like their kinesiology program with kids and stuff, rehabilitation type things. And I saw one of those guys there, straight laced as can be at school. He was partying it up, man.
Dude.
He was like this, having a good time, man. So that's what y'all were bringing, man. It was great, dude. It was
ultimately
such a good
that's
performance.
what we want to do is kind of bring that enthusiasm that we have for our music and for the time that we're there, really bring that, and hopefully they can feel that too.
Yeah.
And whatever's going on, I wouldn't say let's escape it, but let's just embrace the moment.
I think that's a great philosophy to live by in music in general. Something that I used to tell like DJs, or producers, anybody, they would always ask like, they'd be like, how do you do this? And I'd be like, well, one of the things that's important is to, when you're up there, be having fun.
Definitely.
And to look like you're having fun.
Yep.
Because like, if you're having fun, then the crowd's going to be having fun.
Definitely.
Like in my world of like the beat world, there's a lot of guys who make beats where it's just, and they're just their heads down the whole time. And people like me, like the beat heads, like those kind of guys who search out that type of music, we'll sit there and vibe with it the whole time, even if you're not moving. But to the person who doesn't listen to that music on that kind of level, if you can bring some energy, and you don't even have to be like jumping up and down like I'll do sometimes. You can just be feeling your music.
Yeah.
Then other people are going to feel it more too. And
Definitely.
It's not about being overconfident or anything of that nature. It's about, like you said, providing an energy.
Definitely, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
providing energy.
I love seeing you, by the way.
Oh, well,
because
thanks, man.
you really you're a front man without any back, which is pretty incredible. I mean, when you think about it, because you're basically doing kind of what a stand-up comedian does. You have
In
to,
a way.
yeah. I mean, you have to control the timing, delivery. You gotta make sure them beat drops are hot.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure I'm hot. But
And
I love it. Yeah, it's exactly what you said. Like, especially like if there's a beat drop and you just freeze.
Yeah.
And then you come back with it as soon as it drops.
Yeah.
Like, people just eat that up.
Yeah,
So,
I have one track that I have where now it dies off and it sounds like something just messed up, like something happened.
Yeah.
And then it just hits like right back into this like jazz saxophone solo, and it gets people too. Like, I remember my buddies from Mojo, they're like, they come around, they went ooh, and then it came back, and I was like, ha,
gotcha.
Yeah, I was like, got you. But I learned that from, there was a girl, her Ursa Minor, DJ Ursa Minor.
Yeah.
She was playing a show down in Dallas that I was at, and she sampled the sound of when you unplug speakers while they're on. So like a bzzz.
Yeah.
So it sounded like all of a sudden her thing had become disconnected.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, no. And the crowd was like right when the drop was about to hit. And we were like, no. And then she just hits it, and it comes right. And everyone's like, so I was like, okay, I'm going to do that in my own kind of way.
Dude, that's brilliant, man.
Dude, shout outs to Ursa Minor on that great little piece of showmanship.
You
right
could you could even pretend like fool around with stuff and be like, what's going on? Like, unplug something. And
then,
boom.
and that's the thing. Like, have you ever had those experiences where equipment goes awry in the middle of playing?
Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Especially with how much I move around. Like, the cables usually go off or come unhooked. I've broken mics and mic cables before. My pedals come unplugged.
Oh,
so I'm just like shouting into a mic that's not even on.
Yep.
I mean, that's like, people honestly, like, you do lose some momentum just because the music has stopped. Or one of the parts has dropped out. But at the same time, if you recuperate and you don't make a thing of it, and you keep your energy the same, they will act like it never happened. Because it's like they give you that benefit of the doubt, and they understand that some stuff can go wrong. So it's not like
these are electronics.
It's not like you're just monkeys up there just playing, keep playing. Like, no, they're with you.
I can remember I was seeing Bass Nectar a long time ago, and they blew a fuse. He was bumping it so hard at Nocturnal Fest. He blew a fuse. Man. Yeah, and I remember everyone was like, whoa. Like, you hear like what's going on? And he comes on the mic, and he's like, we blew a fuse. And everyone's like, yeah. And so he's like, give us a few minutes, we'll be back up. And, it's like, that had the crowd hyped. I've had a show where I played, man, and this was out in Fort Worth, and the whole set, the guy couldn't get the mains working, the main speakers. He couldn't get the main PAs or the subs. Ooh. I had 2 monitors that were facing me. And I couldn't even really hear those. I don't know what was going on, but I went up to the bartender the bartender told me afterwards, he's like, yeah, man, I went up to the sound guy, and I was like, yo, man, this isn't going well. Like, what's going on? And I just, you know what I did? I just played the whole thing through.
Yeah.
Didn't think about it. Yeah. Just was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it, and hopefully these things will come on. At the last song, they popped, everything came on. So I got in the mic and I said, yo, this is what my music actually sounds like. And then I backed away, and I was like, thanks for hanging out. And they got about a minute of my music. And I was like, please look me up when you're driving home so you can hear what my music's supposed to sound like. That was a great venue. There was a toilet right in the green room next to the couch. Didn't have to go far.
Wait, this is in Fort Worth?
Yep.
What was it?
The Aardvark.
Yeah. We played the Aardvark.
Dude.
I remember looking at a green room with a toilet right there.
Legendary status, dude. That was quite the endeavor, man.
Yeah.
But that sound guy did give me the advice to buy myself some 1/4 inch to XLRs, and that way I wouldn't have to use DI boxes all the time when I got to venues. He's like, because then you can just run straight into their system.
So you wouldn't have to
I was
rely to
Yeah, and I was like, oh, cool. Well, that's sweet. You know, just in case he was like, if you play somewhere that doesn't have DIs, it's real DIY. DIs, DIY, you know.
Hey.
You'd be good. Hey, oh,
Yeah.
making jokes left and right here, folks.
That's
All right.
fantastic, though,
Mhm.
man. Like, yeah, but I think, you know, most people,
Yeah.
most crowds are super acceptable and
Mm-hmm.
very understanding and
Yeah, exactly. So for you guys to get prepared for something like Jazz Fest, you know, you find out, okay, we're gonna play Jazz Fest. How do you
Yeah.
guys start to go through the songs that you're gonna pick out?
I mean, you got to play all the bangers.
Yeah,
So any song that's just like, you know, at the end of it, people are just like, just losing it. You have to play that because, you know, you want to play for yourself while you're on stage, but you also want to make sure people are enjoying what you're playing.
yeah.
So you're playing for the crowd too.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of got to walk that line. And there's definitely a couple tunes we play for ourselves, like, "What's up, J Doubles?
Hey.
J Doubles."
The man himself. Watch out.
Yeah,
A lot of
right?
people coming in here. What's
Dude,
going on?
I know.
Got Cameron Trevino, J
I'm
Doubles.
intimidated. There's so many like
Couple other
incredible
homies.
DJs and musicians now.
Yeah, this is too much.
Got me all sweaty in the pits.
Yeah, I'm going into real estate.
Yeah, right. Also, shout out to Diesel Beasts
Yeah.
because they're incredible.
You are pitting something fierce. I'm just gonna say it.
Dude, well, okay, so we were catering today. I work at Pie Square Pizza Tavern,
Okay.
and we were catering out at CoServe, which is like Swisher and 35 basically, and man, it was hot. But, man,
Yeah.
they also had some footballs laying around.
Uh,
So, you know, the boys and
You
me,
know how it
we had to toss them
goes.
around.
Gotta toss the old pigskin.
Yeah.
I know how it is.
But-
Isn't it strange how like the 3 day or the 2 days out of the year that your whole family wants to throw a football, you've just consumed more turkey or ham than is really reasonable.
That's a good point, man.
Hey man, I
That's a good
just
point.
ate 1,400 calories. No, what? No, 3,500 calories. That's my uncle right there. Y'all want to go outside? Throw the pigskin? Yeah, exactly. I remember one time my cousin and I went and played, and he went inside after a point, and he never came back. I found him on the floor.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
out.
that's, yeah.
That's the tradition,
right.
you know. That's So
Yeah.
well, okay, we'll
That's
move past the stains right now. It's okay.
Oh,
as long as it's
no,
through
we can
hard
keep
work.
talking about
No,
it. We
no.
can- I mean, honestly, I'm a little nervous right now. Like, you know, there's
It's really it's the sun's coming through the
There's-
windows too. I think that might be what it is.
no. I'm just, I think it's just anxious sweat at this point.
Alrighty.
Because I mean, you're amazing. You're intimidating.
Oh,
Your
goodness.
presence is intimidating. Jake's presence is intimidating. Look at this suit. This suit is just on. It's on point.
You know,
man.
he started doing that a while back, and
Did he
I've
really?
loved it every day.
You know what else?
I want to
too?
see his closet. It's got to be beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It's
It's just just suit after suit.
Because it's not, it's not like a Bart Simpson closet or like an Hey Arnold closet.
No.
You know that everything is its own individual Jake piece.
Yeah.
Each thing brings him joy.
And you open it up, and it's just like a cloud of rich mahogany just hit you in the face. Oh,
Fine leathers.
Oh my.
Oh,
Yes.
goodness. Exactly.
You know what else? Though?
Do I smell success?
It hides your pits too.
Uh-huh.
So maybe I'd.
Oh, man. I wore black.
That's smart. That's smart too.
So, man,
I'll just pose the rest of the time.
in the B-boy stance for the next 5 minutes.
Is it working? No, it's not working.
No, it's not for
It's
me
not
either.
working.
So besides like figuring out, okay, here's the songs that we're gonna play, what is y'all's kind of songwriting process in a way? How do you guys dive into that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something you're constantly trying to figure out. Like, at least I don't have a process where it's like, on the second Tuesday of every month, I sit down, have a glass of Cabernet Sauvignon, and write 20 songs. No, it's not like that. It's just
and after
like,
that, I watch
Grey's-
Masterpiece Theater.
yes. I, was gonna
I
say
knew where you
Grey's
were going.
Anatomy,
Yeah.
so that's way better than my option. But anyways, yeah, you know, I think sometimes I get in GarageBand
Okay.
or Ableton. No, I was gonna say Ableton, but I've never done. Dude, are you gonna teach me Ableton?
Yeah, I'm gonna teach
Next
you.
Monday?
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
All right.
I love you. Love you, dude. But yeah, so just getting in there. Sometimes you just hear a sample, or you just messing around on the MIDI, and you're
Yeah.
like, I like this. I'm gonna keep doing it and record it. And then sometimes I'm writing lyrics, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I want some music to fit this particular lyric. I think it's just a bunch of different ways. It's just, I think you got to be connected to yourself and kind of mindful of what's going on around you,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
if you try to write something, I feel like that usually doesn't work out. If you're
Mhm.
trying to sound like someone, or I mean, maybe it does work out for like better musicians than I. But for me, it's just like if I try to write something, it just sounds like crap, or it's like Diet Drake or something.
Yeah.
So I just don't.
I hear.
Yeah.
I have these moments where I'll sing something and I think like, ooh, that sounded good, and then I play it back after I record it, and I'm like, there's a reason I don't sing. There's a reason you don't rap. There's a reason I don't sing, bro.
My whole voice memos app
Yeah.
is just a bunch of trash ideas. Like, I do
But
the same thing.
One
Like,
thing I love to do though is to really crank up the reverb and
Yeah.
start talking like this when I'm making house beats, you know, and just start like, we're jamming in the house, grooving in the house. We're jamming right here. We're out a little snare.
We're getting a little sweaty,
snare. We got
sweaty,
a little reverb. There goes the reverb.
do you like to dance when it sounds like this? Do you want to change your pants? Do you like to dance when it sounds like this? Baby, bring another change of pants. Oh.
In scene.
Okay. Yeah.
That was awesome.
We just wrote a song.
I think
Did
we
we
did.
just- That's,
Boom.
I think when people say they write a song, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Is they're just like, yes, that's it.
Have you ever seen? You ever watched the show Always Sunny by chance?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely, man.
So I was
definitely.
watching them talk at a Comic-Con one time. Somebody was like, "Hey, how do you guys write your episodes?" Everybody starts talking at one time, and then the character who plays Dennis, I forget his.
Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn.
So Howard.
Yeah, Glenn
Howardson.
Yeah, and he just goes, "Everybody, shut up!" He's like, "It pretty much happens exactly like what you just saw right there." Like, everybody just starts flooding with ideas, and
Yeah.
you know that's the way it works. You know, you don't really write the episodes. You know, it's
No.
like if you watch 6 Days to Air with the guys when they're creating South Park.
Oh my
you know, they're
God.
just kind of like, I mean, they do a ton of work to make that happen, but they sit in this writer's room, and I feel like that's
What's
when,
up, y'all? Oh, they're looking at you.
Oh, okay.
They wanted your attention.
Oh, I don't know who these people are.
Oh, that was an incredible kick. I'll try and do one too. Okay, here we go.
What? I have no
It's pretty
idea.
high, right? I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah.
Should we just do gymnastics outside? Let's go.
We
Wait,
can't do
now
it
we
right
gotta
now.
do
We
the
gotta
interview.
finish the interview, man.
I can't do a backflip. I'm not gonna do a backflip. That's not happening.
Will you be careful? Is she
Did
gonna
she
do
just do a backflip?
What is she
She's
gonna
doing
do?
a backflip.
What is she gonna do?
Hold on. Does someone have the camera out?
Yeah. Hey, can you
Okay.
tell your yeah? What's going on? Is this person backflipping down the way? Oh, okay. She cartwheeled.
That's
She
way.
cartwheeled.
It's
It
way
wasn't-
safer than a backflip.
It wasn't nearly as impressive as I thought it was gonna be, but we'll let it slide. Y'all
I'll
take
try a
it easy.
backflip. Oh no. Okay.
Stay safe.
Okay. Oh, good.
You know.
I was gonna try a backflip.
It's no, not in here. There's not enough room.
Maybe I could just roll over on the floor and
Well, that was
say I tried.
crazy. You never know what's
Yeah.
gonna happen out there, man.
I mean, they were super energetic.
yeah, you know.
They
shout
really
outs.
wanted.
Come see a Puddintain show.
Dude, I gotta say, man, when I said hi, they were like, "Oh, okay," but then when you said hi, they were like, "Oh, yeah." They were really into it.
It's embarrassing. I'm a
Yeah.
father now. I'm a father. I've got things
But
to
I
do.
think I heard them singing, "Oh, Mikey, you're so fun, you blow on my hey, Mikey, hey, Mikey, oh, Mikey, you're so fun, you blow my hey, Mikey."
Ladies and gentlemen,
hey,
this has
Mikey.
been Brandon Dowd. Let's see.
Oh wait, hold on. Is my time over?
No, not yet.
Okay,
We're still
okay.
gonna plug shows though.
I have a song for you.
Okay, let's
I
plug
wrote you a
shows,
song. Yeah, and then we'll.
and then you can read me your song.
Yeah.
Okay. What shows you got? What's coming up?
So, let me pretend like I'm thinking and drinking. All right. So our next shows are. Oh wait, this Saturday. This Saturday we're actually playing at Don Treater in Rockwall.
Nice.
And this is for it's like a $10 ticket, but all the proceeds go to widows and orphans.
oh
And
wow.
it's this child youth minister. There we go.
Okay.
Youth minister. And yeah, he just like had this idea to put together like once a month a show, and then all the proceeds for that show go straight to his organization.
Wow. That's
and so yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, and then the 29th we're playing Horny Toad.
Nice.
So
Right up here. Right
yeah,
up there.
right up there.
Mhm.
35 and the Loop,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
35.
probably.
Yeah, 35 in the loop.
Yeah.
It's
something
35 in the
like that.
loop.
And then let's see. After that, we're playing July 3rd.
Of course.
at Pi Squared Pizza.
Mm-hmm. Breezomatic's going to be playing with y'all instead of me. I apologize.
Dude, I love Breezomatic.
Yeah,
I was definitely disappointed when I saw that.
I know, dude.
Because
I'm sorry.
we got Miranda playing before us.
Oh, nice.
Miranda Jade Kennedy, incredible.
Yep.
And then Put in Tane, not bad. And then you, and I was just like, oh man,
Well,
what a stacked
there will be
lineup.
There will be other times.
Yeah, for sure.
There will be other times.
For
For sure.
sure.
I had to I had a lady hit me up and ask me about if I could do a banquet, and I had to think about the dollars in the sense of my child.
Oh, dude,
so I
no,
said,
I'd fault you.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Brandon. I love
No,
you guys,
I mean,
but we got to think about the bills.
Yeah, well,
So,
if you can't afford your kid like a $40 gig, I mean, come on, dude. That's a budgeting thing. That's on you, bro. Okay, that's on you. No, I'm just kidding. I totally understand it. I totally get it.
But hey, like if for some reason they decide that they don't want to book me, or they cancel, then I got you.
We're still here.
I got you.
We're still here with open
what's
arms
what's
and
this
sweaty
song
pits.
before we go? August
This is the song.
16th
Okay.
at LSA Burger.
Yeah.
with Star
August
Party.
16th. Yeah. We're playing with Star Party at
This is a long song, dude. Oh wait, you didn't. This isn't.
Yeah, it is.
He
Stop it.
Okay, he didn't.
Yes, I did. May I begin?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Ding.
Can't be. It kind of starts with like a slow operatic, like sort of like lead in, but it's like descending. Let me try it again. Can't be. Michael, a cry. He's got a head of fire and a heart of gold. That's the drums. The drums come in with it's kind of a call and response between the vocals and the drums.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. Where was it?
Head of fire and a heart of gold.
He's got a head of fire and a heart of gold. Yeah. And then he's got a kid named Stella. And then it goes into a breakdown.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom. Stella, oh Stella, Stella, oh Stella. She's beautiful and alive and very happy inside. Stella, oh Stella, Stella, oh Stella. She's beautiful and happy, and sometimes she cries, and sometimes she and then you don't resolve it. That way you get like that kind of like, oh, is he going to finish the song? And you just let it go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been tuned in to DentonRadio.com tonight.
Thank you for
with the
being
one,
here.
the only, Brandon Dowd.
And the one and the only, Kind Beats.
We want to give a shout out to my sponsor, LSA Burger Company, for keeping us on the air.
Pop my fist, bro. I kind of did that on
We'll
purpose.
see y'all
I thought
next
it'd be
week.
funny. I thought it'd be funny.
Right here on DentonRadio.com. Y'all stick around for Ellie Bell and the Denton Vibe. Shout outs to Brandon for coming out, and that was one of the funnest
Thank y'all.
interviews I've ever had in my life. All right,
Thank
I
y'all.
will see y'all next week right here on DentonRadio.com. Peace.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to thank our partners and sponsors who made this show possible. And now stick around for a word from all of us here at Discover Denton.